with that, let's learn about how we can quality control our Revit models. And just a little bit about myself. My name is David Gear. I've got about 27 years, a little over 27 years in the AEC industry, working different roles. And I primarily focus on Revit, Navisworks, AutoCAD, and CTC tools. So our main objective is ensuring that Revit models conform to company standards, one, by ensuring that all elements are on the proper text style and dimensions are not overwritten. So we're going to kind of cover the dimension checker and the type swapper and how we can kind of utilize those to get good quality control out of our Revit models. And so let's see if I can get this poll to go up. I'm going to launch a poll here real quick and just see what are you currently using for quality control. And this just kind of helps me figure out where the audience is. And all right, so someone's already using some CTC tools. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and end that poll and we'll kind of see where everybody's sitting. So it looks like it's a mixture, and maybe you've checked multiple items, and that's fine. I'm glad I see two people that are actually using CTC tools and one that's using Idiot tools, and I probably butchered that company and I apologize. And then there's a couple of people that are not using anything at all. So hopefully you'll find some benefits out of this webinar today and see some different elements that can help you in your process. So I'm going to go ahead and move over to the software. And I've got my Revit project here. And what I want to be able to do is do some QA QC on the project itself. I don't know if my team is conforming to standards, if they're making their own. They shouldn't be, but the CTC offers us a tool or a couple tools that allows us to go in and make sure our team is doing what our company standard is and what we want as our fingerprint, our identity as a company to go out in these models and documents. So I'm going to come over here to the dimension checker. And I'm going to come over here in our dimension checker here. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. So in here, I have these dimension values that says use actual value, replace with text fields. If I say use actual value and I uncheck all these others, and I'm going to do a quick search right now, it's going to go through all my model and give me all the dimensions that are in my model. And then this is something that I can then save a report out to. So as I'm QA QCing my project, that I can go get my team and go, hey, look, why are we overriding these dimensions? What's the rhyme or reason to it, right? And this does take a while. And now I will say, the more views you have in your Revit model, the longer this will take to go through, because the CTC tool has to go check each individual view to get its report out. So it's going through my basement floor stair number 1, all these call outs and any ceiling plans, any things that I have, even drafting views, it's going through and checking these elements. So if you are BIM managers on the line, then you need to probably do this later in the day or earlier in the morning, because this is going to take a little bit longer. And this is I don't have a lot of views in here, but I do have a few views in here. And some of them are just views that I have that I'm still trying to work out and go through my design process. So I'm going to have some things that are going to be messed up, right? So I do apologize. This is taking a little bit longer than I wanted. So out of those, let me see those poll questions again. All right, so wow. Now this is every single dimension that is in here. So I've got 566 dimensions, and granted, this set is nowhere near complete yet. I can save this report out as an Excel spreadsheet. And then, yes, it's asking me would I like to open it, and I'm not sure which screen my Excel sheet is going to come over. So let me drag this over here. And so this is a report that I have that I can kind of see what's going on in every dimension in the project in here. And if I come down, you'll see that there's some plus and minuses. There's some text below. So there's some items in here, and this is the overall, right? So I've got an overall kind of, hey, this is where everything is if I want. If I want to come in and say, just give me the replaced text. What has somebody gone in, and I'm just going to close out of here and come in here to this text, and they said, hey, 10, or we'll go 11 inches, right? And they put that period behind there, right? So let me go run my dim checker again. And I'm going to say replace with text and hit a search. Again, it's still going to take a little bit long. It shouldn't take nearly as long because it's looking for items that only have the replaced text. And I only did this on a select few, so I know it shouldn't be as long as the overall search. Nope. See, there's a chat. Sorry about that. Okay. I'm looking at your post here, Jose. I'm hoping I said your name correctly. Please note there's a bug on it. Okay, yeah, I hadn't gotten to the type swapper yet, but yes. There are some things about the type swapper that I like and that I don't like, absolutely. When you're saying some of the elements there, what elements are you experiencing that are not showing up? Is it text styles, dimension styles, line styles, hatch patterns, or fill patterns, I should say? Been too much back and forth with AutoCAD lately. All right, so this brings up our report here, and we can see that we've got 12 line patterns, grid line. Yeah, I could see the line patterns being an issue. So here it is our different dimensions, and I'm going to minimize or try to re-shrink this down here. So I can come in and click on the ones here, and it's automatically taking me to that dimension that's in here, right? So there's that one that I just did in front of you. I replaced it to 11, right? And so, hey, I know that one needs to be fixed. And I can come in and say actual value, right? I can then also save this report as we did earlier, and I'm not going to save the report. I'm just going to, show you that you can. And then you have this, be able to go in here and see what has people changed, and it take you directly to it, or you can say select, and it selects that particular chain there. So there's that point in there that I would want to get rid of, right? Or talk to my group, hey, why is this not, what's in the model? Why is it doing 25 over 30 seconds of an inch, right? Maybe we need to readjust our materials. Maybe we need to readjust where we are dimensioning to, right? Because here I'm going to the center of the wall instead of face a stud, right? So there may be little elements like that that we need to bring up to our project team that says, hey, why are you overriding these dimensions? This is not the purpose of BIM, right? So it gives us a talking point to help encourage our teams to do better practices. So yes, you probably you guys and gals know exactly where I'm coming from. You probably still have it to this day. You know, they still have that kind of CAD mentality and want to override things, right? And so let me go back to the dim checker one more time here, because if I have text in fields, I can also grab those as well. I'm afraid this is going to give me everything. And then down at the bottom, it's kind of grayed out now because I'm running the search. I can tell it to include or exclude certain keywords in the search so that when I'm doing this, hey, I know typical is going to be in there. I know EQ is going to be in there. I know so-and-so is going to be in there. I know VIF is going to be in there for, or field verify, right? I know these particular elements are in there. So why not just say, hey, CTC dim checker, please just ignore those, right? And part of me wishes I would have just done replace text instead of actual values. Because I really don't want to sit here and wait. So this is not what I wanted to do, but bear with me as I kill Revit and bring it back up. Just be faster than trying to have the tool continue searching all the views. All right, let me get back into my project here. All right. So like Jose mentioned earlier, he's talking about the type swapper, and this one is a really great tool. It does have its quirks. Jose, you found some of them. There's some things I like about it, and there's some things I don't like about it. So the one thing I do like about it is these duplicate families, right? I've got some ones in here, and if you ever gone in and done the, manage transfer project standards, and you come in and brought those from another project, or hey, we're on a joint venture, so hey, we got our standards and their standards, and when we bring them in, it wants to, put copy, call out head 1, 2, whatever, right? Well, I can use the type swapper and come in and say, hey, I want these things to kind of, go with what they should be, right? Or there's no change at all. And if I want, I can tell it to delete the duplicate families upon the swap. And I can save these selections for future use. So that way I have these as a BIM manager. Can I just swap one? So I can, if I want to just say all these, and, why is it not wanting to do that? So see, I went to clear the selection. See how it says no change? So if I want just that one, I'm only going to do that one. So that way I'm not getting all the ones. I'm hoping that Rolly, I'm hoping that and I'm hoping I said your name correctly. I'm hoping that answered your question on that. So I'm only going to change out that one item, unless you were referring to something else on swapping just one. Yeah, and me as well. I was trying to remember how to get them all at once and come in here and do the same thing. So yeah, no, no, I definitely understand. You know, those frustrations. There's times where I'm going, wait a minute, I'm doing what I think it should based on, you know, our elements, right? What we're used to doing, and not being able to do that. So I'm going to come in here, tell it to swap those. Yeah, delete the duplicate families, please do. It's telling me which ones it could and couldn't do, and then it kind of cleaned those up, right? So if I were to come in here and do this again, I'd probably get even less and less. I only did that just to have you see what you could see shortly to quickly clean that up. And not only that, to help clean out those families that are in your project. I don't know about you guys. I don't see this a whole lot, but there are ways in here that some people want to come in and create their own dimension standard and put things on their own dimensions, right? Why they want to do that, I don't know. But if you see where there is a check mark over here in the approved, that is where your IT manager, your BIM manager has said, these are our approved dimension styles. If you don't see a check in it, you need to come over here and change it so that it will swap to the, well, I sure don't want arch length. Swap it over to the appropriate dimension style, right? Now, and this may be a feature request that I need to ask, and maybe from CTC Tools is also too, kind of like the duplicate families. Hey, once we swap these over, get rid of these dimension styles, right? Instead of having to use the purge. And I can't remember. I may have to go double check. It may do that, but it's just nice that you had this delete duplicate families. Just be nice just for confirmation. Same thing with text styles in here. I actually imported some AutoCAD files. I'm going to close this out real quick. You may or may not have some people on your team that go out and go grab some details somewhere, may get them off of ARCAD or whatever the manufacturer's site, and they bring them in and explode them and do all those things. Well, that's where your type swapper can really also come into play with these different text styles here. And then I'm hitting the count so I can see which ones really truly have something on them. And then I'm going to tell it which style I wish to use so that we'll put those on there. And I've got one in here that someone decided, hey, they wanted some old Bookman style. Why they're doing that, I don't know. It should be 1/4 inch aerial, right? And I'm going to go through and swap, and it's going to swap those out and put those all on the appropriate text style. Same thing with line styles. I will warn you on this, and I was working on this morning. I went ahead and tried to do all these. It was taking hours and hours, especially over 1,400 lines, right? It's having to search through the entire model and change all those 1,400 lines. So I'm only going to do this on the A medium. Yes, and that's a good thing, right? Jose said, hey, we added our company abbreviation suffix to the dimension name to verify, hey, they are truly using our dimension style and not one out of the box. Or if we're on a joint venture, hey, we're using, why is somebody else using this, A.3 330 seconds so-and-so text or dimension style, right? Well, it may be part of the joint venture, but hey, here at our firm, we have our abbreviations behind it. Let's make sure we're using that, right? But as a BIM manager, you definitely want to come. Sorry, Jason, I'm not trying to laugh at you. I'm laughing at that because, like I said this morning, I was trying to do this and go, okay, hey, I want to demo this and show. So I'm only going to do just this medium one here. And so you should see all these magenta lines in the background. You should see all these magenta lines in the background change. So I'm going to change those to the medium line that's our, approved line weights. And yes, and it did take a lot of time. So no, Jason, I totally agree with you. And I wish I wouldn't have pulled this off on part of my other screen here, but yes, it is having to search and do all those 137 line styles that are in there and moving it over to the medium. And that is not just the view I have open. That would be all the other views. And so I had a bunch of these details in, and they were taking a lot longer. And I'm going, my people aren't going to want to sit here and watch the CTC tool try to do over, and I'm just going to say unjoin elements so that it will finish, right? And it changed all those out. So yes, Jason, you've personally experienced this with the CTC tool. The more items you have, the more people have brought in AutoCAD or whatever it is, right? From whoever, whether it's AutoCAD or Revit, right? Whatever styles that they've created, you're bringing in their junk that you don't want in your company standards. And this is where the type swapper can really, really help you out. Line patterns. So like Jose mentioned earlier, on some of these, you'll see where it says count here, and I have 4, right? There's probably some in here, especially from these AutoCAD files. There's probably stuff that are on here, but I would, and without doing a whole lot of digging, I would have to assume that it's really because that element was changed individually instead of by layer, by the overall layer. They went physically in and changed that individual property from, hey, it's a -2, right? Versus the overall layer. So there may be some transition there that the CTC is not picking up in there. And that may be, without doing some more digging, Jose, that may be where you're having some of those issues. Not really sure, right? But I will say that the fill patterns, it's okay. I do have an issue with it because what it will want to do is you will still have this. So if I come in here and I'm going to come over here to the fill patterns, right? Let's see here. Is it showing? I'm wondering if it's showing in the model. So see all these are the ones that were imported from AutoCAD. So if I come back into my type swapper and I go to my fill patterns here, and I change these 2 patterns, and I don't even know what a wall section 1 is, right? And I'm trying to figure out what to do that would be, we'll do a solid fill. So I'm going to change this over to a solid fill. Now, it changed the fill pattern. I'm not even sure which one it is. It's probably one of these right here. Who knows? Let's see, what is that fill pattern? Wall section 37. I'll go change wall section 37. That way we can see something actually changing here, right? Wall section 37. Oh, come on. Getting a little click happy. I'm sure that hasn't happened to anybody before, right? All right. So swap that one out. But the thing is if I go back into the fill patterns, where are you? 37. See, it still says wall section 37, right? So it's not, in my opinion, it is not doing what I thought the type swapper would do for the fill patterns. I was thinking it would swap the name out and everything to that. It changes the fill pattern that is associated with that. Okay, and Rolly, I'm glad you shared that with us, right? Hey, that's why we do these webinars, right? Give you the best informed knowledge, right? And let's see here. Last but not least is materials. Materials are going to behave very similar to the fill patterns as far as being able to change those out as well. So I know this is probably supposed to be an hour, but I don't want to take up too much more of your time with other things other than maybe do some Q&A here and see if there's anything that you guys and gals may want to ask, or was there something that you would like to have seen that you didn't see? All right, Q&A. So what other tools do I use or that we can use? You know, some of the other tools, I mean, as far as quality control, definitely the oh, where are you? The project cleaner. I like to use that one to clean out unused schedules, unused legends, unused views, any view templates that may be in the project, any sheets. Sometimes people create crazy sheets instead of placeholders, any unnecessary links that may or may not be in. One of the other tools I also do is the import link manager. And the one thing I like to do is on these links here, there's a lot of times I've seen where people just do not pin the link in. I don't know why, but you know, they go in and want to forget to pin that thing down. But really, everything that you see over here in these BIM manager tools are definitely ones that are going to be used to help you do the quality control in your project. When will cloud-based licensing be available? Roy, I'm going to have to get back with you on that one. And the reason why is because I honestly don't know. And I don't know that I have anybody from CTC on here to answer that. Yes, the quick select. That's not really one of my favorite tools, so I don't use it a whole lot, but a lot of my other technicians do come in and use the quick select. No, I understand. No, I'm glad you asked the question, right? But I can get that information to you and get it out to everybody that joined the meeting today. So I know we have different licensing tools available. I just don't remember off the top of my head on that. But no, thank you for the question on that, Rolly. I really appreciate it. All right. Any other questions, Jason? Did that help maybe see some other things that you could use for quality control without diving into a whole other slew of tools? Absolutely. You know, definitely seeing how my fellow techs use them as well. Like I said, I don't like the quick select. A lot of my guys do, to be honest. The new one I like is the view aligner. A matter of fact, you can see in my quick access toolbar, these are the ones I use the most, right? I'm using the, I think that's the, oh, come on, give me the helper there. I'm using the family tools, I'm using the view aligner, I'm using the renumbering tool, and I use the view creator. So those are my top four that I am constantly using in production. And I say production because I not only am I an AEC specialist, but I am also out there in the trenches using these tools to help our clients and augment their teams and help them get things out the door. So those are some of the ones I use. Some of my fellow ones, they use the invisibility advisor. They use the occupational flow analysis. Definitely for the life safety. They really like using those tools. So yeah, definitely seeing how others use them. I'm hoping that brings some light into everyone's day. So. Well, yeah, I'm going to open for a couple more questions and then we'll just close it out and give you the rest of your day back. Oh, you're quite welcome, and thank you for the questions. So please subscribe to us on our social media and LinkedIn, and we also have YouTube's page. This webinar will be posted up on YouTube. So if you had colleagues that you said, hey, you really should have checked out this tool, hey, let's go to ATG's YouTube page, and you can see everything that Dave presented today. So with that, I'd like to thank you for your time and have a great ATG day.